Significant government investment in rollout of a road enhancement project in Salisbury. The Public Service Union asserts its right to speak on issues affecting Dominicans, and the Council on Aging's new executive to take a hands-on approach to addressing financial abuse of the elderly. I am Julian Morris with the Channel 5 News. The details after this. First up, government is spending a total of $465,000 in the first instance as it rolls out its community road enhancement program in Salisbury. Caretaker of the Salisbury constituency, Nicole Shanks-Esprit, said road repair works should begin next week. $135,000 is expected to be spent in Phase 1 to repair 700 feet of road near Church Lane.
We are about to do some repairs to the road, or upgrades, whatever you call it. About 700 feet of this road will be constructed with concrete, 15 feet wide by 4 inches thick, fiber mesh. The contractor, we know him in the village as Errol, but his right name is Alrol. To the tune of $135,000 will be spent in the first phase of the repairs to this road. We have received a check from government of $465,000 to do 3 pieces of road, which this one is part of it. The second phase would involve the piece from Rosette John Charles and so on to join it here and to continue to go back to the end to meet Mr. Warrington.
The Stone Edge Road is also set to receive attention.
We're going to spend over $215,000 on this piece of road. It is about 1,100 feet, straight, the same conditions applies, 15 feet wide, 4 inches fiber mesh concrete. And it is 1,100 thereabout feet, and $215,000. Kelman Vidal will be the contractor for this road, and the monies, as I told you previously, is with the council, and work will begin by the soonest next week when the council signs up with the contractors. The contractor for this one is Kelman Vidal. Contractor for the other one is Alroy, but we know him as Errol John Baptist, and the third one in Monrachet would be done by Vernon Paul to the tune of $115,000. It's about 450 thereabout feet of road in the Monrachet back road.
In other news, the country's largest public sector union maintains it is independent and has a right to speak on any issue affecting Dominicans. General Secretary of the Dominica Public Service Union, Thomas Later, was responding to claims made by His Excellency Vince Henderson on Kyrie FM. Henderson, who is Dominica's ambassador to the United States, was responding to a May 31 press release from the union. He noted the union has been transformed into the political arm of the opposition United Workers' Party under the stewardship of Thomas Later. In the release, the union said it viewed with concern government's efforts at a recent parliamentary sitting to debate proposed amendments to the House of Assembly Elections Act. Opponents of the amendments claim they legitimize the offenses of bribery and treating, while government contends it improves the interpretation of the act. Following opposition protests against the proposed amendment to the Elections Act, the Prime Minister advised the Speaker to adjourn Parliament.
Well, first of all, I must say that it hurts me when I listen to supposedly educated men and women making a fool of themselves. Where in the world has trade unions' concerns been limited to only salary negotiations and representing members at disciplinary hearings and tribunals? The rise of many leaders, political leaders that is, emerged from the articulation of workers' rights and the struggles in which they were involved, talking about national issues, including inaccessibility to education, to proper education, poor housing conditions, inadequate health services, and many other unsatisfactory social services.
Layton said issues affecting citizens also affect union members by extension.
The trade union membership is very diverse, and therefore, we have a legitimate right to speak on any and every issue affecting the country, because those issues affect our membership. And therefore, as a trade union, if we feel that the amendment to a particular section of the House of Assembly Election Act is not in the best interest of all Dominicans, we have a right and a responsibility to make a statement on that.
The union says it supports the need for electoral reform, but advises government to leave well alone if amending the act doesn't necessarily improve the holding of elections. The Labour Commissioner says a favorable industrial climate will encourage investment and tourism. Dr. Matthew Leblanc was speaking to Channel 5 News in the context of the legality of industrial action.
As a government agency for industrial relations, we need to be absolutely neutral in the matter. And our business is to seek a solution where there is a conflict, where there is a dispute, to advise the parties and to use all our resources, training and specialties to bring the dispute to an amicable settlement. And where that cannot happen, we advise the minister, and the minister, of course, takes certain decisions on the matter and refers the matter to the tribunal and what have you. It's always in our best interest that we have a favorable industrial climate in Dominica, because it encourages investment, it encourages tourism, and it encourages productivity.
And 3 months after leaving the country on a quest to walk again, Dominica's only above-knee double amputee, 33-year-old Dion Green, walked onto the Dame Eugenia Charles Boulevard amidst the cheers of family, friends and supporters from both here and abroad. Green had both legs amputated in 2000, 3 years after he suffered second and third degree burns from an explosion. The Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, in collaboration with other partners, spearheaded a fundraising mission to help Dion Green get his prosthetic legs to walk again. Dion embarked on the new leg of his journey in March when he left Dominica for France to undergo physiotherapy and obtain his prosthetics. Speaking to the media upon his return, Dion described the experience in France as one of a kind.
It was very hard at the beginning for me, but after the first, I would say, month, it started to become easier, you know. And the therapists, they fell in love with me. They took me skydiving. It was just amazing. The therapists, they told me that they've never seen anything like that, you know, like somebody so motivated, and that I motivated the other patients at the rehab as well. My rehabilitation continues, it doesn't stop. Every day is going to be rehab for me.
The Keep Walking Association also played a vital role in ensuring that Dion received assistance in France.
It was a really hard job, because it's not easy to walk when you miss 2 legs. That's really hard to stand up after 15 years in the wheelchair. So it was really hard for him. So he had to train every day for 3 hours per day, 5 days a week, for 2 months, 2.5 months. And during this time, you have to change 2 times of prosthetics, so they try to adjust everything, because he had problem with his thumb, the burn. His thumb was burned for a long time ago, so the skin was sensible, and he sweat in the silicone sock, so it was not easy, but now it's really much better. But normally you need 6 months to try to walk, to learn to walk again, you know, because 15 years sitting in a wheelchair, that's a lot.
Orthopédie Bontou is the company that created Dion's prosthetics.
One of my colleagues made Dion's prosthesis, and he stayed in nearby Avignon for 3 months, and we have fitted the prosthesis, and he had rehabilitations too. That was a great project for us, and for him, of course. You know, when we do that job, we do it by passion, and we have a lot of empathy with the people, and it was natural for us to share our field, to share our competence. So, no, it's natural for us.
Dion acknowledges that it will be challenging to adapt to life in Dominica with his prosthetics, but is committed to the job and being a role model for other physically challenged individuals in the country.
With the heat, it's easy for the legs to come off, because the vacuum So, yeah, you could say that. And with transpiration, they might be able to come off easy. The roads are very bad, so walking might definitely will be a challenge. There's so much I want to do. I cannot say everything in such a little time, you know, but the main things are to help people with disabilities, maybe to create something where they themselves can be employed, you know, something new, something different and unique as well. I've learned a lot in France, and I plan to use some of the stuff that I've learned to help the people down here.
With his prosthetics, Dion stands 6 foot tall. You are watching Channel 5 News. Coming up, leadership training and highlights from the opposition leader's speech at Thursday's meeting in Roseau. Thank you for staying with us. Daycare centers, reducing incidents of financial abuse, and training caregivers are top on the agenda of the new president of the Dominica Council on Aging. At its annual general meeting earlier this month, former Minister for Social Services Gloria Schilling was voted in as president of the association following a 4-year stint by Zetma Toussaint. Schilling says one of the immediate issues she hopes the council can tackle is that of loneliness among the elderly.
I think too many of our elderly people in the various communities are left alone and not being able to, not because they don't have family members with them, some of them do, but not just being able to socialize with some of the people of the same age. It makes a difference. Loneliness can be an illness, and a lot of our elderly people sometimes die of loneliness. And so I want to concentrate in ensuring that there are daycare centers in almost all of our communities.
A lack of more qualified caregivers is also a concern for the council. Schillingford says the DCOA will be looking to deepen their collaboration with AMDOR in Martinique on how to train people in caring for the elderly.
Right now, I think there are some persons going to be having a training program going on with Mr. Remy and his group that is in Martinique. Special and yes, on hands program going on there. And I have attended as minister conferences with them and meetings, and I know they are very good there. They look after the elderly. We intend to do a registry so that we know where the persons who we have trained before are, whether they need new training, whether they have left, and so on. So that's one of our things that we are going to concentrate on.
Financial abuse of the elderly is also a long-standing issue for the council, and Schillingford says they will be taking a more hands-on approach to this through a special event organized for the 15th of June.
We intend to have the media and persons come in, just sensitizing persons about our elderly and abuse, and asking persons not to abuse them financially. Those are the gems of our country.
At its first board meeting on Thursday, a new executive was officially sworn in. It reads Gloria Schillingford, President, Evander Joseph, First Vice President, Nigel Lawrence, Second Vice President, Nicholas George, Secretary, Lennox Sentemi, Secretary Treasurer, and Cecil Joseph, Treasurer. And if you are looking for help to focus on and express the leader within rather than finding blame with leaders out there, then an upcoming Leadership Presence course might be just the thing for you. The course is part of the summer program at the UWI Open Campus. It's about discovering your inner game of leadership in developing leadership presence. Course facilitator Martha Coffey says she has always had a passion for supporting young and more experienced leaders.
This is the third time I've run it, but I think it will have a different flavour given the conversations in the past few years around leadership. But I want to make this personal, as the course has always been. It's attracted people from like a senior manager in Kabuli, in Marpin itself, in the NCCU, somebody who manages a care home. So there's a cross-sector of managers that I've attracted on this programme, and a lot of men as well, surprising higher ratio of men to women than on other courses that UE offers. So this is about you getting in touch with your own leadership journey. People are often so stressed at work, they don't have time to step back and reflect on who am I, what is important for me, you know, what messages do I have to deliver, whether that's on a public level, personal level, or community level. So this is time for reflection and support to really understand what you're about. So that's why it's about your presence, you know, who you are, how you show up. So it's going to be very experiential. It's not theory. People get to stand up, speak, receive feedback, really understand the impact that they have when they walk into a room.
The 6-week course starts on Tuesday.
There are different modules in that where we look at understanding your values, what your particular vision is, and that could be like a personal project, a community one, or work-related one. I work with them around their coaching skills, because leaders, actually, if they embody some core coaching skills, they become much more effective. And in that I mean about the ability to create rapport, deepen their listening skills, know how to ask powerful questions, to really get curious about the other person. Because we often walk in with loads of assumptions about what's going on, and we never check in with the other person.
The 6-week course starts on Tuesday. In September, Martha Coffey will facilitate a leadership retreat at Windsor Castle for Black and Asian leaders. And the leader of the parliamentary opposition has again called for electoral reform. Here are some highlights from the opposition leader's address to party supporters in Roseau on Thursday.
We have asked for electoral reform, and in electoral reform, we are asking for the list to be clean, the list to have only eligible voters on it, the names of eligible voters, people who are 18 and over and are properly registered. They are not dead, and they have not been living outside of Dominica for more than 5 years. We need to clean up the list to have that. We need to have ID cards for voting so we know who is coming to cast the ballot. Reform is also about ensuring access to the media in Dominica for all parties in opposition, and that means particularly the state-owned DBS radio, the nation station. It also means we have to do something about regularizing the overseas voting business. The laws against election offenses to be enforced during election time. And we want campaign finance reform. We have been talking about those things for a number of years. The hundreds of millions of dollars we are making, for example, from the sale of passports, we still cannot see what it is doing positively for the uplift of Dominica. Where is the international airport? Where are the functioning industries employing people that all these hundreds of millions of dollars would have given us? Where is the agro-processing plant? We're in mango season now. You see the amount of mangoes going to waste around Dominica? We still cannot sell everything that we produce. We still cannot add value to everything we produce in agriculture because we have not approached this properly. And we cannot depend on Skerritt and Company to approach it properly.
That's news. Your sports highlights next with Kenny Williams.
First up in sports, government has taken a major step in the development of sports here with the signing of the contract for the design of a new multi-sports complex worth over $3 million Eastern Caribbean dollars on Friday. The contract was signed with Marquez & Marquez Arquitectos of Puerto Rico, an architectural firm with over 40 years of design and construction experience.
The government of Dominica will sign a contract with the architectural firm Marquez & Marquez Arquitectos of Puerto Rico in the amount of US $1,355,160 US, or EC $3,681,834.20 for the design of our new national multi-sports complex.
The general scope of works for the architect's engagement will include preparation for conceptual design, schematic designs, preparation of construction documents, assistance with the construction bidding process, construction supervision, and other professional services. Meantime, Prime Minister Skerrit said the funds for the construction for the new sports complex have already been identified and reserved.
I have set this money aside to build this facility, so we're not going to be looking for the money. We have the money to build the facility. And the entire sum, which will come from the Citizenship by Investment program, this facility will cost us in excess of 40 million EC dollars.
The design phase of the new multi-sports complex is expected to be completed in approximately 4 months. On the local cricket scene, St. Mary's Academy dethroned the defending champions, Castlebrew Secondary, to become the 2017 first domestic insurance under-15 cricket champions on Friday. Batting first, SMA posted 142 with 49 from Majid Peltier, Yannick Josiah 26 and Kyron Phillip 18. Burkhardt Francis picked up 7 for 39 for CBSS. In reply, CBSS was bowled out for 38. Miguel Sanford scored 22. Majid Peltier picked up 4 for 2 and Ajanim Tavernier 3 for 2. Following on, CBSS reached 59 for 7 at the end of the day's play. Ajadim Tavernier took 3 for 27 and Tyrese LeBlanc 2 for 15. SMA won on first innings decision. Meantime, sports coordinator Trevor Shillingford said the first domestic insurance secondary schools under-15 cricket championships have been yielding positive results.
We are satisfied that the under-15 cricket championship is really bearing fruit. Out of last year's competition, we had some of you guys selected to represent Dominica at the under-15 competition, that's the Windward Islands under-15 competition, and 4 players out of this group went on to represent the Windward Islands or to be selected to the Windward Islands under-15 cricket team. So we can safely say that this particular championship is really bearing fruits, and we want to ensure that we continue with the championship, and to do so we need the support of the corporate community, and we are happy that we have First Domestic Insurance who has decided to partner with us, and we are satisfied that this partnership is really working for the development of cricket.
Meantime, Soufriere Primary topped day 1 of the Southwest District Primary Schools Cricket Festival on Thursday. Soufriere finished ahead on 6 points, followed by Mont Prosper 4, Trafalgar Girondale combined 3, St. Luke's 1 point, and Newtown in the solo position with 0 points. Soufriere defeated Trafalgar Girondale combined as well as Newtown. Mont Prosper was also defeated by Newtown and tied with St. Luke's. Trafalgar Girondale combined beat St. Luke's. Day 2 will be held on Tuesday at Soufriere from 10 a.m. On the basketball scene, St. Joseph Hurricanes and Digicel Clouds dominated play in the 2017 Flow DABA Division I League on Thursday. In Game 1, Clouds won 52-43 to LA Knights. Top scorers for Clouds were Dean Vidal 17 and Delton Charles 10. Knights' Ridge Blaise added 18 while Cameron Corbett chipped in with 9. In Game 2, Hurricanes defended their home turf, scoring more than double of their opponents to finish with game scores of 75-36 against Kyrie FM Old School. Jonathan Mills led the scoring for Hurricanes with 19 points and was assisted by Jerry Wright, who came in with 12. In a losing effort, Old School's Levi Barron posted 10 points and Colbert Bertrand chipped in with 7. Meantime, the league continues on Saturday with PSC Falcons up against Sports Division Interschools at 7 p.m. in the First Division, followed by a Premier League matchup between Dr. Mac Prowlers and Thunderers at 9 p.m. Both matches are carded for the Bird's Nest in Pichelin. The action passes into Sunday in Portsmouth with Algin Pizza Hoes coming up against 767 Sports Club in the Under-17s at 6 p.m., followed by a Premier League encounter of Flow X-Men and Intellico Security Service Raiders at 8 in the evening. Next up, head of Dominica Cycling Association here is reminding local cyclists of the importance of having the right gear ahead of Sunday's warm-up race. He says this is important for safety on the road.
Compete and to take part in the race, you must have the necessary proper gears, the helmets, the gloves, the proper shoes on, water, etc. If you know that you are unable to make it to a long ride, let's say to Portsmouth or even to Dublin and back, You need to tell us so, because then we can provide the necessary. Then we wouldn't let you go on this long ride because we do not want anything to happen, medically speaking. So advise the organizers of your condition and so forth before at least registering to just take part.
Charles is encouraging all Dominicans to support the national athletes at the 2017 OECS Cycling Championships here.
We're asking every single person to book July 2nd as the day for cycling in Dominica. The OECS Championship will be held. We're asking you to come out with your friends, your family, go alongside the route. Remember, the route is from Roseau to Portsmouth and back. So we want the Dubla people to be out there. You know, every Massac, Mao, you know, just name it, to get involved. Colibistry, you know, you make it a family fun day where you come out and to encourage the riders, encourage the Dominica team, because we'll be doing it for our country. We'll be doing it to enhance the tourism product, to bring more people, and more we will see more events like this.
Back with more cricket, there will only be one cricket match this weekend in the Dominica Cricket Association's Intermediate League on Sunday. At Benjamin's Park, Summit Sports Club will do battle with Nagico Stars. That match begins at 10 a.m. Finally, the island-wide Guineas Knockout Domino competition enters the semi-final stage this weekend.
2 big semi-final matches will be played this weekend in the island-wide Guineas Knockout Domino competition. That's when Remix from Eggleston will come up against Rockers from Paybush, and Monzan from Mao will cover Wicked Stars from Portsmouth. Both matches will be held at the Indian River Resorts in Portsmouth.
That's all the sporting highlights for now. I am Kenny Williams. Join us next time.
Coming up, your weekend weather report.
Good evening and welcome to tonight's weather broadcast. I'm your presenter, Annie Correct Joseph. We begin by taking a look at earlier satellite imagery which showed this area of cloudiness associated with an upper level trough. Visible satellite imagery showed multi-layered clouds over Dominica during the course of the day. Radar imagery indicated minimal shower activity over the Lesser Antilles this afternoon. Conditions for tonight: partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some brief scattered showers. Tomorrow, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies with some scattered showers and breezy conditions as well. Sea conditions: moderate in open water with waves up to 7 feet. Taking all conditions into the weekend: tomorrow, Saturday, partly cloudy to occasionally cloudy skies with some scattered showers. A tropical wave is expected to move over the southern portion of the region, resulting in an increase in cloudiness by late tomorrow, Saturday afternoon into Sunday. Therefore, Sunday's condition expected to be mostly cloudy with some scattered showers, and on Monday, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers. Across the region tomorrow, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with some scattered showers can be expected, with the possibility of some thunderstorm activity over the extreme southern portion. On the international scene, partly cloudy skies in New York and London, some thunderstorm activity in Miami and Caracas, and clear skies in Beijing. The sun will rise tomorrow at 5:34 a.m. and set at 6:36 p.m. For up-to-date information, log on to our website at weather.gov.dm or call the weather hotline at 447-5555. Thank you for viewing and join us next time. Good night.
To end the news, the headlines again. Significant government investment in rollout of a road enhancement project in Salisbury. The Public Service Union asserts its right to speak on issues affecting Dominicans, and the Council on Aging's new executive to take a hands-on approach to addressing financial abuse of the elderly. Feel free to contact us at news@MarpinNews9thJune2k17. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the production team, I am Julian Morris, and to our viewers around the world, thank you for watching.